Now, as I continue, this is the Dark Roast with Kai Dorsey. I'm your host, Kai Dorsey. This is part 2 to my earlier discussion, kind of getting into the antisocial and kind of awkward behaviors of people with their interactions and such like that. Now, to continue on with the story, now as I'm, putting all these pieces together of the girl in the first podcast, I'm seeing that, there was a couple things. One, when it came to my interactions with me, she didn't smile. She had no true personality. I felt as if, I felt like as if I had just yelled at her and screamed at her. And she was just still forced to serve me. So, with feeling that way and feeling this customer, I began like a customer of, wow, what did I do wrong? Like, what could it have been? Could it be that maybe I should have smiled less? Maybe I should have, maybe not smiled at all. And maybe then she would have tried to appease to me. Or been like, oh, I wonder what's wrong with him. But then I realized, I was just going to this thing of like, oh, that's just the way it is. Some people are going to be that way. And then I felt a little disheartened because, goodness gracious, why do I have to accept that? Why does that have to be something that is tolerated, I didn't know whether to talk to the manager or not. I kind of just I didn't feel like it was there was a point. You know what I mean? Like maybe what make her learn her lesson. But then what happens if I go back there? Will she treat me different? Will she have a job? What if she loses her job? What if she treats somebody else like that? All these things went in my head, but all I can think of is I don't know what to say right now, so I'm not going to. I wouldn't want to go on some racial rant or, maybe it was, maybe it just wasn't her time. Maybe I reminded her of somebody in her past, whatever it may be. But I didn't feel like anything I had to say at that moment was positive or would turn out positive. And because of the way people are, I don't even think she would have understood how, why, what I was feeling. Now, with that, I realized that there hasn't really been any growth, especially with my generation or than the ones a little bit younger than me, and I hope the ones underneath us have a better chance at this, but the acceptance thing, the not judging the book before, not judging the book by its cover. Females assume that you're just trying to hit on them when you speak with them. Casually. You say hi, it's, oh, get the fuck out of here. Or, oh, what are you doing? Like, you're so thirsty. It's like, oh, I was going to tell you had tissue on your shoe. Now I'm not, and I feel like that's the consensus is that with females, it's you have to assume everyone is targeting you for sex. Everyone's targeting you to get at you. Someone comes with you at this, at a casual, manner of they just want to converse, or they would like to actually get to know you, and not just sleep with you. And it's no, there has to be an ulterior motive. I don't know, with guys, I found some asinine egos, men who are just more female than men in mannerisms and the way they act, and it's just, jealousy, blah, blah, blah. A lot of dudes with short tempers who will dish out certain things but cannot take it. Very emotional. And that too is another thing. It's if we're not on social media and we're not popping, then what are we? That's the kind of mindset that I feel like it is. It's like you have to treat everybody as if they want something from you so you can feel like the celebrity that you worship or you idolize. And I just, from start to finish, in my days, I'm always very positive. I'm always very outgoing. I'm always just trying to converse. I'm trying to meet new people. I'm trying to make, life the best experiences I can. Because I just watched this movie called, I think it's Wake Living or Awaking Living or Life Awake or Life Wake. I don't remember, but it's a movie about lucid dreaming, and it's amazing. And then there's just this. I'm sad that it slips me right now. I'm probably gonna remember when I'm done with this, but there's a moment in the movie, in the sequence, where the man realizes he's realized he's dreaming. He's tested it out, and he's talking to one of the characters in his lucid dream, and she tells him, it's this beautiful redhead girl, and she tells him that she doesn't just want to be another ant in his world, right? He just want to do the ant thing where we all walk by, we use our fillers like how ants do. They use their fillers, they feel each other, and once they notice the person's there, they just walk on by and they continue. And she's like, she didn't want to do that, so they begin to conversate. Now, in the movie, of course, he realizes that it's a lucid dream and begins to ask her questions that are, privy to the movie and her being a character in a dream, and how does it feel, blah, blah, blah. But to make it relate to reality, it's kind of the same thing that we're doing. We're if it's not over the screen, we're ants. We're just walking by, we feel each other, and we go on. We don't really ever stop, actually get to know the person who's next to us or walking past us, short of a name. And if they don't have our interests or they don't hold an interest to us, whether it be sexual, financial, emotional, like some people, I've realized that they use people for the emotional support. Now, in my head, that's wrong. That's horrid. And we keep allowing ourselves to be used in that manner, in any way, shape, or form. And I'm not okay with it. I'm not a believer that the things that are should be the way they are. They should continue that way. Not one bit at all. Now, I don't understand how to get my peers not to see that if they're not really hateful of things, they're pretending like you should just turn a blind eye and be oblivious to a lot. It's so crazy how social network has turned us to an antisocial people. Now, I want to understand everyone, and it's kind of the reason why I still have social media today, besides the fact that I have the podcast channel, is that I want to understand why people are this way, why people are so internal with everything, why are they so introverted, but then they send out waves that they're, extroverts. I think that's the word. I can't think about it right now. I don't know why I couldn't. Introvert, extrovert, right? Yeah. Oh, and it's like I don't understand, and I can't see why they want to be so withheld in and pretend like there's some enigma, or like no one understands what they're going through. And then every single day you complain about the same thing that the person who's tweeting above or below you is saying, or the person on your Facebook is saying. You're sharing the same messages, saying the same thing. Whether it's for example, Democrat or Republican, you guys say the same thing about the opposing side or about yourself, and no one is connecting. No one's going, oh my goodness, you're feeling the same thing. I wanna know how you deal with it, or do you want to know how I deal with it? I was talking to my amazing, beautiful ex-girlfriend a while back, and she her and this friend of hers, they kind of connected finally after realizing that they were both going through the same kind of issues. And to be honest, when she was telling me this, I was going, wow, like, that's amazing. She made a connection. They hung out. They enjoyed each other's company, and it was dope. And I was like, that's amazing. And then I thought back to other people, and it's sad to say, but a lot of you guys, a lot of us, we're depressed and we're scared, we're alone. And in your loneliness, misery does love company, but in your loneliness, you could find a happiness. You can find a reason to go and be better. You can find a reason to help somebody. But we are refusing to do so. I feel like sometimes if I make an acquaintance on social media, that I actually have the hopes and the thoughts in my mind that, okay, I have to meet this person in real life. I have to hang out with them. If I'm able to laugh with them like this over the internet, they must have some type of personality, because I'm a person of personality. I have an abundance of it. I can be, and the funny thing is like sometimes I feel like on social media I exert, my different sides. Like Facebook, I'll completely troll, or I'm silly and I'm a goofball, but I'm also very intellectual and I'm getting into deep conversations, blah, blah, blah. Twitter is my crucially vulgar place. But even still, it's like I'm saying what I feel and I'm letting it be known, like certain things that are right. And most times, Twitter's the place of, bullies. So I feel like the reason I even have that is, to bully the bullies, even though I know I'm not doing anything but continue the cycle. While as Instagram, I may, post something that is more thoughtfelt, more heartfelt, something more true to myself with. And I don't really post pictures of myself. That's the thing. I'll post a song lyric or a quote or something, or even food that I've made, and I feel like when I do that, when I indulge in this social media, I still remember what it is, a networking thing, a place where you show who you are, and each entity of myself that I'm showing, it fits where I'm at. Not that I'm fake, and I hate how people say that. I had a conversation today with someone, and it was if I told them that no matter if I don't like somebody, I'm still kind to them, I respect them. And I don't treat them as if I wouldn't. I don't treat them as if I would treat someone I do like. And they're like, "Oh, that's fake." It's like, no. Understand? I accept the things I don't like. You know what I mean? I have to. If I don't accept the things I don't like, then I'm not really able to accept anybody. And people don't realize that. And it's like, it's not about being fake. I'm real. I'm real on every single part of it. These are all parts of me. These aren't something that I'm just holding in. Like, you will find me, be one of those separate entities on another place, but I'm fitting and I'm adapting to the setting that I'm in. I know on Facebook I can't say certain things that I'd say on Twitter. I know on Instagram I can't, show certain things that I would show on Twitter, and vice versa. But I feel like everyone else is kind of throwing all of themselves, or or making that persona of the internet their true self. And if we don't start diluting that pool and realizing that we need to get out, like there's a lot of piss in the water. We need some chlorine. We need to clean that up. Step away from the phone. You know what I mean? Because other than caring about how somebody looks or how stupid somebody is, quote unquote, we're not doing anything but wasting our lives away. We complain about issues we'll never fix. We make issues up that, shouldn't be there. And I feel like the energy is channeled in such a negative manner. I believe we can make a change, and I feel like we can make a difference. I believe that there is a way for us to step up and actually be the ones who are the kind-hearted individuals that we pretend we are, or we see in the outliers, and we want to emulate, but we never get the chance to. I just feel like we have to start talking more, start communicating more, start being real with each other, and stop this antisocial behavior that keeps us judging and discriminating at every turn in our lives. It doesn't matter if you're popping, It doesn't. We're going to go with part 3.